On March 20, 2026, Manchester United traveled to the Vitality Stadium. With the international break looming, securing 3 points was strictly about mathematically insulating their position in the race for Champions League qualification. Interim manager Michael Carrick arrived riding an undeniable wave of momentum. Since taking over in January, his side had secured 7 wins in 9 Premier League matches. But waiting for them was Andoni Iraola. His Bournemouth squad had cultivated a highly disruptive identity, stepping onto the pitch armed with a 10-match unbeaten streak of their own. The resulting fixture was a volatile 2-2 draw. United took the lead twice in the second half, only to surrender it both times amid a flurry of late-game penalties and own goals. The immediate narrative from the traveling supporters focused almost entirely on the officiating. Fans and pundits alike pointed to a sequence of controversial penalty area decisions as the sole reason United dropped points. Skeptical. Focusing strictly on the referee obscures the actual mechanics of the match. Long before any whistle blew, United were systematically exposed on a tactical level. This 2-2 stalemate was the inevitable byproduct of 2 colliding tactical systems, compounded by a rigid, literal application of the rulebook. Deconstructing exactly how Bournemouth forced this chaotic draw is essential to understanding whether Carrick's tactical framework can actually withstand the rigors of Champions League football. On paper, both starting formations perfectly mirrored each other in a standard 4-2-3-1 structure. But upon gaining possession, Carrick alters the geometry. One fullback tucks centrally, while the other pushes high. The structure morphs into a 3-2-5, creating a 5-man line to overload the defense. The structural integrity of this system relies entirely on the 2 central midfielders remaining behind the attack. They form a double pivot, tasked with bridging the gap between the 3 center backs and the 5 forwards. Iraola recognized this dependency and designed a specific counter-strategy to sever that connection. He deployed central midfielders Alex Scott and Ryan Christie to execute a relentless press, trapping United's midfielders before they could scan the field. Their pressing trigger was strict. The exact second a United pivot received the ball and attempted to turn upfield, Scott and Christie collapsed on them. This disruption was highly effective. By suffocating the midfield, Bournemouth secured 55% of the total possession against a structurally superior side. By neutralizing the double pivot, Bournemouth successfully dragged United out of their controlled build-up, forcing the visitors into a chaotic 50-50 scrap for the ball. This timeline chart compares the attacking output using expected goals, or XG, a metric measuring the quality of scoring chances based on location. Looking at the cumulative data, there is near-perfect parity. Bournemouth generated 1.81 XG to United's 1.77, edging the visitors 16 shots to 14. A statistical profile this closely matched usually points to a specific type of game environment. It signifies a complete lack of midfield control, where the match is played almost entirely in rapid end-to-end transitions. Unable to build methodically, United attempted to survive this chaos by relying on the explosive pace of their forward line, accelerating into open spaces. Bypassing the midfield press with direct balls forward is exactly what led to Matheus Cunha winning a penalty in the 61st minute. Bruno Fernandes successfully converted from the spot. However, this set-piece success effectively masked the reality that United were struggling to create high-quality chances in open play. Their second goal followed the exact same pattern. It stemmed not from a flowing attacking sequence, but from an isolated corner kick delivery that forced an inadvertent own goal. Because United failed to assert structural control in the center of the pitch, they surrendered their ability to dictate the game. Instead, they left the final result entirely at the mercy of highly volatile, isolated incidents inside the penalty box. That volatility peaked with the match's central controversy: 2 remarkably similar physical altercations in the penalty area that yielded completely opposite disciplinary results. The first incident occurred in the 67th minute, when Amad Diallo went down in the box under upper body contact from Bournemouth defender Adrian Truffert. The referee waved play on. Bournemouth immediately counterattacked, and under 30 seconds later, Christie fired home the equalizer. The video assistant referee, or VAR, a system where off-field officials review decisions using video replays, did not intervene. Their rationale centered on a frankly subjective threshold, judging that the physical force used by Trafford was not sufficient contact to warrant a foul. 11 minutes later, a near-identical sequence unfolded at the other end of the pitch, this time involving Harry Maguire. Maguire placed his hands on Bournemouth forward Evan Nielsen inside the penalty area, dragging him to the turf to stop a dangerous attack. While the physical contact looked similar to the Diallo incident, the Premier League officially classified Maguire's specific action as an objective holding offence. This classification triggers Law 12 in the Football Association, or FA, handbook. Specifically, it invokes the clause dealing with DOGSO, an acronym for the denial of a goal-scoring opportunity. The crucial distinction lies in the mechanics of the challenge. Because Maguire tugged Evan Nielsen over without making any attempt to play the ball with his feet, the rulebook mandates a harsher punishment. Attempting a legitimate tackle might have earned him just a yellow. Instead, making no attempt to play the ball triggers an automatic straight red card. Eli Jr. Krupi stepped up and converted the resulting spot kick for Bournemouth, sealing the 2-2 draw. Because VAR isolates every decision, reviewing them strictly on their individual merits, it often creates optical inconsistency for the viewers. Yet mathematically, both penalty outcomes were the result of a strict mechanical adherence to the written rulebook. This data table shows the top 5 spots in the Premier League following the final whistle. Manchester United sit in 3rd place with 55 points. While they maintain a mathematical buffer over Aston Villa and Liverpool in the race for European places, the personnel cost extracted from this single match is severe. Due to the straight red card for denying a goal-scoring opportunity, Maguire faces an automatic one-match suspension. However, due to a cluster of calendar anomalies, including an upcoming international break and the Easter weekend FA Cup fixtures, he will have to wait 29 days to serve it. The strategic impact is that United will be without their starting centre-back for a highly volatile league fixture against Leeds United on April 13th. And they will face that fixture carrying the tactical lesson exposed by Andoni Iraola. Carrick's 3-2-5 possession structure contains highly exploitable vulnerabilities when confronted with an organized pressing mid-block. Champions League qualification remains entirely in Manchester United's control, but this structural fragility proves that Michael Carrick's audition for the permanent managerial role is far from complete, and his margin for error has effectively vanished.